jumeaux in the barn fed. It's a little late because it's been storming. Peek up here at the sky. As you guys see, gray sky day. It's been storming most of the day off and on. I did actually get the chance to peek at the eclipse around 1:22. The eclipse did come over, and so I did get to see it, which was cool. So we're just going to do a quick little run through, get everybody fed, and a little chit chat about things. I think today's chat is going to be about when you want to discover something new and you want to start pushing the envelope with your ideas. You have to start. The idea is to be I guess the easiest way is to say this is to be kind of the dumbest person in the room when it comes to a particular subject matter. If you can look up to everybody else in the room and you have something that you can learn from everyone else, then you have the biggest to gain. Now, maybe you're not on the bottom rung. Maybe you're just like 1 or 2 rungs down. But you definitely don't want to be the smartest in the room. You want to find ways that you can learn something. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the black and gray hat. This is called the duck hat that you guys see us. So it's got a gold bill. We've got a silver black with the Sublime green 37 and the X Dr. Firefly logo. So that's the other hat. I thought I'd show you guys off the 2 hats that I have. These are the 2 different hats that you can get here from me. The description to the hats is below. So if you're interested in acquiring those, get this get the gimbal up and functioning well. Spectacular. Gimbal is up and working. So let's get everyone in here the snacks that they are looking for. Some hunger, babies. So what we were talking about is surrounding yourself with people that are moving forward. So we as humans, we're notoriously good at being around people that think the same as us, around a lot of like-minded folks, around folks that make us feel comfortable. But what we need to be doing is we need to be challenging our minds from time to time. If we really want to be innovative and moving ahead, is you have to find ways to challenge the status quo in your own mind. And that can be rather difficult. We get caught up. It's so easy to get caught up in wanting to be comfortable that we don't push ahead. We don't innovate. So those are things that we need to definitely do. Is we need to push ahead. We need to innovate. We need to be doing things. We need to be moving forward. And finding ways to be able to do that. And yes, all of those things can be so how do you find spaces where you can be around people that'll help you innovate? So first off is find something that you are very interested in and learn as much as you possibly can. So and learn as much as you can by the stuff you're most interested in. Then get out there and find people that you kind of admire doing the same thing that you're doing. Especially if they're doing something a little bit different, something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, something that feels like they're pushing it above and beyond, or something that just like, you know what, I don't think that that's the way I would do things. Those are the people that you're going to learn the most from. Now, you may never copy them. It might be to the point where you just learn from them, and maybe you never practice any of the same things. and you might learn different reasons on why they're doing things, and you might figure out, your ideas are actually better, or they're just better for your situation. But what it does is it gets you thinking outside the box. It gets you thinking outside of your everyday like hustle and bustle. Because I know, me personally, I easily get caught up into thinking that this is the easiest way to do things, or no one wants to buy these kind of chickens, or no one wants to do this or that. So I regularly try to join groups. Like I get on and I join the Permies group on Permies, the people that do the people there that do the permaculture there. And I join those groups because some of those people are absolutely big movers and shakers. And so as they move and shake and they come up with things, and they're more innovative, a lot of them also have more time. Like they're not as, there's young and old people. So some people have the extra finances, some people have the extra time. And so they're not necessarily caught up on the, everyday aspect of life. And so because of that, they get to be some innovation stuff. So there's some stuff that I've learned from them. I also try to go outside of my wheelhouse. So I try to join groups like I just recently joined. Testing 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm hoping that fixed it. If the audio is fixed, a thumbs up or a good audio would be helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I was saying is, maybe you talk to the older folks and they have some interesting, innovative ways to be doing things as well. And so you can learn interesting things from them. And that old wisdom, it might be time for you to actually do that again, because it might just make sense to do things that particular way. And so you always are trying to weigh things to challenge your mind. As someone who's an entrepreneur, as someone who's owned businesses, as someone who's, I think this needs to be charged. So if this cuts out again, I'm sorry. See, if I wonder if I put it here so I can see the light. Sorry if the audio is being silly. Okay, I can kind of see the light, and that should maybe make the audio okay. So I can try to peek and see if the little light's on. So as someone who's an entrepreneur, as someone who has spent a lot of time making different types of businesses, my first business that I had when I was a kid was I sold trading cards in high school. And then I ran a quail farm in the city, and I did a cleaning business, and I did a bunch of small things over time, just things that I was interested in, things that I thought would be ways to make some extra money. And so because of all that, I've always kind of been more of the entrepreneur. Well, that's a little ghetto lean there. More of the entrepreneur type, and ways to always try to move forward and think of different ways to generate money and generate revenue instead of, you know, your traditional normal. So we're gonna have to go with this since my mic died. So the audio is not as clear. Sorry about that, guys, but at least you'll still be able to hear me. Have to remember to, it's acting up. Here we go. Just have to remember to charge that up this evening. So because of all that, because of me having to be an entrepreneur, it's also taught me to try to understand that there's definitely somebody out there that knows a better way. There's somebody out there that knows a better way to do things than I do. So I want their experience, their knowledge, and I would like to integrate it into my everyday life so that I don't have to always make the same mistakes. So now a lot of times, because I'm a mover and shaker here in the Appalachian permaculture world, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm going to try a lot of things, but that's why I'm sharing with you guys some of that stuff when it comes to the farming and permaculture, because I want you guys to be able to learn from the mistakes that I make so you guys don't have to make as much. But with that, I've got to find the folks that I want to learn from. And so things I'm doing right now, me and Lisa's been talking about lots of different ways to generate money. So we're going to use some of her skills. So she used to do framing. So I think we're going to do, I think next year, we're going to get her back into doing some custom framing for folks around that are interested in that are interested in learning custom framing, and maybe teach some classes and maybe just frame some people's works. But I'm also going to be trying to figure out ways of different types of additional classes and such that people are looking for. Do I grow ginseng? I do not grow ginseng, partly because the ginseng that I have on my property, it is a natural ginseng. It does really well. I use it for my own personal uses, and I would rather know that I always have high quality ginseng for me or for my friends when I need to make a medicine than necessarily turn that into a crop, because sometimes things like that turning into a crop can lower the quality or possibly damage the source of where I have. So for me, it doesn't make as much sense to do the ginseng, but I am growing sunchokes. I'm going to definitely double down on growing the sunchokes. I think I've talked before about how I'm working on trying to figure out how to get a agricultural grant for my nonprofit to start a small apple orchard. So I'm looking to try to buy between 50 to 100 trees next year, fruit trees that I can, then in a couple years will start producing the apples. I've also started some little side hustle businesses, so I do a little bit of handyman work around with some neighbors. I'm going to start working with some real estate agents to do slideshows, video presentation. Really, it's all about figuring out how to do the most with the skill set that you have. So I'm good at building websites, but that's not quite enough in this market. So I want to build. If I stand over there. So not only do I want to just build websites. I need to go get the other thing out there. I want to be able to build the entire infrastructure for folks. I'm working on how that makes sense on a small scale. But again, these are all things. That are inside the box thinking. They're things that I know within my wheelhouse. Things that I have a little bit of knowledge base. What I'm trying to figure out right now is, like I did with crypto, like I did with learning how to dealing with the stock market. When I looked into some other interesting business ventures, those were outside of my wheelhouse, that I learned and figured out ways to integrate aspects of that into my everyday life. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to find groups of people that think different than I do, but that are also business savvy. And because I'm just not, I mean, I am employable. I'm a good worker. I was a steel worker when I was a kid. I grew up in Akron, Ohio, so, I've done the factory work. I know what that's like. I've worked at a mall. I've worked at a zoo. I've been a pizza delivery guy. Like I said, I've been businesses where I did janitorial stuff. I can actually work for other people. I just don't want to. Like, I am better at being my own boss. I'm better at taking the risks, the gambles. I actually enjoy that aspect of things. I enjoy that aspect of the entrepreneurship. So that's what I'd like to do. But you were talking things like the cedar trees. Great idea about the cedar trees. I'm looking at what kind of plants, like wildflowers, and flowers are things that we're really thinking about looking into growing in the coming years. Because, who doesn't like fresh flowers? And the other thing is make sure I grow fresh flowers that can also be used as herbal flowers as well. So if I'm growing flowers that can also be used as a medicine, that has additional benefits to it. So there's just lots of different things that we need to be thinking about. But this is what I'm talking about, is being imaginative, thinking outside the box, trying to understand that we live in one of the most amazing times ever. We live in a time where you can actually get paid to play video games. And that's not a pipe dream. That's not saying that, that's just crazy. That's only a few groups of people. Like, you really can. Like, there's, some kids, there's going to be a kid out there in the very near future that is really good at playing some video game, and they're going to do it. So, that's another thing I want to point out. Lurking Louie mentioned. One of your skills, and something that you might like, is you might be able to buy out somebody that currently has a business. And they might be able to be bought out for cheap, or they might be able to be bought out for, part of a revenue swap, where you give them part of the money in return of running their business and such for them. But the business will ultimately become yours, kind of like a land contract type mindset. And that is something that is potential. We have a lot of boomers, we have a lot of older folks, we have a lot of people that are just tired of being entrepreneurs, and businesses just close. And so, they would love to make some money off their business. Like, maybe you just get their books, maybe you get their clientele, maybe you buy their structure or their business. There are options out there that are just kind of out of the box thinking options, and things that, the average of us, those of us that have been wages for a particular part of our life, or those that have been brainwashed by the machine to think that we need to be good little cogs in the machine. The things that they don't tell us, the things that they don't want us to know about. Well, those options are out there, and because of things like the internet, and because of the big reach that we have, we can learn from them, and we can have clients, and a lot of those people out that direction too. So, just fun things to think about, things I think about on a regular basis. I always try to have a big dream. So when I was a kid, my big dream was to own a Victorian house and run a bed and breakfast. And that's what brought me here to Southern West Virginia. I have my house. It was built in 1897, did some restoration to it, ran a bed and breakfast for 15 years, and then went on. So then I wanted to teach people farming. So that's what I'm in right now. I'm living that particular part of the dream right now. I'm teaching folks how to make their own food, how to be more sustainable, how to be self-reliant, how to just that aspect. That's something that I, right now is my passion. My future dream, because I think it's always good to have something next. My future dream is I want to have a resort. I want to have a place for people to go. Maybe their mind's not right, or they just need that escape from the mundane or the everyday blah, or maybe you have PTSD, or maybe, life is just extra stressful. And instead of having to go to these faraway retreats like in Costa Rica or all these other countries, I want people to just be able to come and just spend time here in Appalachia and just unwind here in the mountains. And, maybe stay in a cabin or stay in a yurt, eat good food, just be what it's, simplify life. It's like that meme, I want my place to be that cabin in the woods with Wi-Fi and have programs set up to help people better their lives. So that's my future dream. That is next on the horizon. Talking with people in the wellness space. And, in some ways I have to talk about people in the woo space and some of those, crazy hippies, the ones that are crazier than I am. And figure out, how that's next. But also not thinking too far ahead. that I'm hurting this aspect of teaching people, running this nonprofit and such like that. Because, with the Mavis Institute, where we teach people sustainable living, we teach people off-grid living, homesteading, basic farming, gardening, we are the building blocks of the skills that you're going to need. This is where you come for the building blocks. We've also talked, me and some of my friends have talked about, like, in the near future, expanding this to be also including adulting, how to make deals, how to negotiate contracts, how to negotiate a higher pay wage, how to change the oil of your car, how to rewire lights. These are things that I think are also building blocks that we need to be acquiring and adding to the Mavis Institute in the future. So, those are things that I'm going to bring other people in, other people that are more of an expert than I am in. Because, some of those lessons I'd like to learn, because I'd like to get a little bit better at the art of the deal, learn a little bit better at negotiating, a little bit better at, the money talk that the elite and the rich seem to just be a lot better at than I am. So these are all things. They're all about living the best version of your life you can, finding something that you're interested in, monetizing it, and also making the world a little bit better, because we should be able to do all of that. This mindset that you have to step on someone's back to get ahead, I don't think that that's true anymore. I think the internet has made it so that's not a true statement anymore. I think that we can better ourselves, better our community, better the world, and still have plenty of money to go around. I mean, look at the money that we're throwing around right now for war. If that money was actually being used for not war, crap, the stuff that'd be able to get done, the people that could be fed. Just tangent, good at that, tangents. So, just things to think about. And this is every day. I want you guys to challenge yourself. I want you to think of a dream. I want you to come up with a dream. So maybe it's a 6-month dream. Maybe it's a 10-year dream. Maybe it's a legacy lifetime dream. I don't care what that is. I want you guys to come up with a dream. I want you to think about it. I want you to write it down. And I want you for the next 2 weeks, I want you to just think about that. Like, how are you going to make that achievable? How can you do your weekly dream, your yearly dream, or your legacy dream? So I want you guys to do that. And sometime, either in this chat or on the Discord, or next time you see me, tell me what you've came up with, because I think it's cool. I want to hear other people's dreams. I want to hear what other people are going to do, because maybe we can work together. Maybe your dream fits in with something I want to do, or fits in with something that somebody else in the community wants to do. And we can put the pieces together. Good plans are a tripod. There's someone with money, there's someone with sweat equity, and there's someone with the really good ideas that knows how to get things done. So maybe that particular person, that third person, is very important sometimes. Maybe that person doesn't have the money. They also don't have the labor, but they know how to negotiate the deal, or they know where to tell you to get the labor or money. And so that can be extremely valuable in a lot of these different in a lot of different things like that. So that's why I want you guys to dream too, because I'm a dreamer, and as we get older, we forget to keep dreaming. We get just tired and just happy to make it through the day. Trust me, I understand. This whole week, I've had a rip snorting headache, and it's just been dealing with me all week long. And so like that has purposely slowed me down, and I've not been able to do some of the stuff I wanted. With ADHD and a headache is a weird combination, because my brain's running at 1,000,000 miles an hour until it pauses because it hurts so bad and it slows me down, and then it goes back up and slows down. It's a weird combination. But all that being said, during the slowdown parts, it's had given me time to just think about other things and think about how we can push things forward, how we can push things ahead. So if any of you guys stream, I want to hear about your streams. I want to hear in your next stream, I want to hear about your dreams. Send me a link. Send me a link at xdrfirefly at, send me it to my Twitter. So it's xdrfirefly on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or wherever you guys want. It's usually xdrfire. Send me a link to when you're going to live stream again, or send me a link to your master plan of how you're going to do that, or send me a comment. That's what I want. That's my call to action to you guys today. That's where I want, instead of us bitching, complaining, saying that nothing ever gets done. Step one, come up with a dream. What dream do you have, and how are we going to achieve it? And we're going to work together, and we're going to get that done. So kind of doing a short episode today because I'm kind of this storm. If you guys can see around me, you guys can see it's kind of a very gray sky, stormy day. I've been popping in and out of the house all day long trying to get that. Like I said, I did get lucky, and about 1:22, there was a blue sky dot, and it just happened to be right near the sun. So I did get to see the little bit of the eclipse today. I don't have the ring of fire here. We only got about 37 to 40%, 37 to 40% of the sun covered, but still it was enough. That was pretty excited. So, but anyways, guys, if you like this kind of stuff, you can jump to my Discord, which is discord.gg/xdrfirefly. Join me there. xdrfirefly, just about anything else. Oh, right there, popping on the screen, that is my Rumble channel. If you guys want to follow me on Rumble, you want to see all the replays of this kind of stuff, they're up on my Rumble channel and that kind of stuff. And if you like hats like this, you guys saw the hat I had yesterday, and this is today's hat. This is the duck hat, and the other one's the OG hat. If you like that kind of stuff and you want to support me, you can jump on the description below and pick up one of the hats. Again, you don't have to. They're just cool things. I like hats. I wanted to make my own hats because I like wearing hats. I like having my own logo. I like being able to wear a hat. So made myself some hats and thought I'd make enough so if anybody else wanted it. So anyways, guys, again, I promised I'm going to try to do a Let's Feed the Chickens every day. Some of them might be longer episodes. Some of them might be short and sweet. I might be doing a Midnight in the Garden, or Midnight in Doc's Garden this evening. All depends on how I'm feeling, if I do a show tonight or not. The evening shows, for those that might be wondering, the evening shows are, we watch some stuff about permaculture, some farming, some low technology videos, and then we talk about it, and you ask me questions, and I'll tell you if I've done those, if I've built those things, if I've played with any of that. And maybe we bring some friends in from Discord and we talk about cool ideas about stuff like that. So that is Midnight in Doc's Garden. Soon, that will be a regular rotation on the show. Right now, it's just kind of, I'm getting back into the groove now that fall's here, getting back into the groove of live streaming and getting all the equipment set up. So anyways, friends, it's Doc. I want to thank you guys again for joining me on this gray Ring of Fire day in autumn. And today, and Fernando, right, Fernando? You say bye too. Fernando says, have a wonderful day as well. And it's Doc. Till tomorrow. I will see you guys later. Adios.